Rafikistry started about 17 years ago, and when it started, it was really about just working with teenagers, you know, giving them skills, giving them information, right information. Didn't even have an office. It was about going out and meeting teenagers where they are at. And but eventually we did acquire an office here in Zimmerman. We then provided many types of skills. And part of the skills that we were providing to young people was within schools and going to schools, giving sexual reproductive health information, helping children read, and so on and so forth. We realized that children were reading way below their grade level. If a child is in class 6, they can barely put three sound words together, bad, b-ad. And with that, then we decided to then provide reading skills. We did this all the way from 2014 up to 2024. 10 years down the line, we were able to get a space where we opened our first community library.
Well, it has been of a great help within the community because whenever children would want to do some studies, they used to go to town. Within Zimmerman, we did not have a library before, and even within the environs, one has to take some distance before he gets where he can access a library.
The first place was really small. A small reading area could only accommodate 12 students. But we were then able to get a bigger space, and now we are accommodating safely between 60 to 80 young people aged between 5 to about 18 years. Of course, we still continue to provide all other sorts of life skills, but the Kisima Community Library has definitely become an anchor project for us. Kisima Community Library, why the name Kisima? Kisima is Kiswahili word for well. And so the tagline for Kisima is the reading well in order to read well.
Actually, most of the children within Zimmerman or the youth within Zimmerman were not in a position to know what happens in a library and the benefits of the library because they did not have the access. But currently, now that we have Rafikistry holding the library, it has been of great help, and currently even our youths, children and parents have now known the purpose of a library, and it really helps them.
When the opportunity to open up a library then came, we found it as a good way now to address not just reading English, but then that we could have books within the library, and that then with the books within the library, children and high schoolers could access books from a central point so that then they could actually still be able to acquire the knowledge and the skills that they were looking for as students.
Kcdf was putting up an application. They wanted to train a local organization on things like local fundraising. Some of the topics that Kcdf took us through that are still helpful up to date are topics like local fundraising, donor mapping, local resource mobilization, and I'd say the training specifically insisted on using your community to raise the funds to run the programs in the community. But the relation continued, and this was in the year 2024. They put up what we call P4C application, Pamoja for Change application. And so what Pamoja for Change is all about, you as an organization, you come up with an amount of money, you raise an amount of money from the community, and then Kcdf matches the same amount. So we put in a bid to raise 500K from the community. So that was divided into two, in cash and in kind. Our target was to raise 350K in cash and 150K in kind. And then Kcdf matches the same amount. So gratefully, we were able to raise that amount. We raised 352K, but on the in-kind side, we raised 500K plus.
A shilling for a shilling program requires that communities raise their own contribution of 50% of the whole budget. So what we do at Kcdf to enable them or make it easier for them is to train them on local fundraising. They get to choose champions from their organizations who now get trained on a 5-day training. They also access this training online, and then after the 5-day training they are also given coaching. So we attach them to trained and certified coaches who are able to journey with them in terms of helping them integrate local fundraising in their organization. In that process of coaching, they're able to look at what do they want to achieve with local fundraising, how much do they want to raise, and what strategies do they want to use, and how do they want to integrate it in their organizational process.
We began a conversation of working with communities to help them identify these resources, to mobilize them so that then they bring something on the table. And that in itself, the results were, one, increased participation in the action. Two,
it actually allowed us to, one, tell ourselves, you know what, we can actually get a bigger space, because if we can just raise the 50% and have rent covered rent, then we can be able to actually run the library. One of the things, therefore, that we have committed to as Rafikistry is to then open up the library to all young people who need the library. And part of the Kcdf grant allowed us to actually ask the community for books. So the books we have in the library right now, we actually didn't buy. We were given by people who were given by the community.
The community has actually highly used the library, which makes it useful to the community and even the children. So the community also have been asking whether the library can have more space and more books for them to be in a position to get the services in the highest percentage of benefit.
We have been able to serve 1,605 children who have come through the doors, and the library serves around 40 to 60 children on a daily basis.
During the holiday season, it's pretty easy. During the term, again, not too difficult, because children appreciate homework support. Those who understand its benefit appreciate it, and so they easily come as well.
Nilikuja tu nikaingia nikaulizia, nikaambiwa wanachukua watoto na wanaweza join. Hawakuwa wanajua hata kuandika vizuri writing, wanasoma hizo storybooks na wanaelewa. Sasa wako sawa kwa Kisungu hata kwa Kiswahili.
I used to have a tutor in home, but it didn't help me and I didn't concentrate. So I had trouble in studies before I was introduced in this library.
I was an introvert, a person who was afraid to speak to people, and also there are many distractions at home since I have younger siblings and studying was hard. And that's why I decided to look for a place that was much safer, and I felt comfortable reading, and I was assured that when I came to this place I would feel like I'm utilizing my holiday, and at the end of the day I will feel like I have done something which made sense instead of just sitting at home and doing nothing constructive.
During the holidays I used to not finish the homeworks, not continuing with my revision, and when I came to the library at first, I got a lot of help from the assistants and from the research, from the books that they give me, and the conducive environment that they give me.
I used to study at home, of which there were a lot of distractions, and most parents, they want you to work with their schedule. So that was an issue for me. Then after I knew about it, it was pretty simple, because you can meet high schoolers who are at your level. Then if there's any difficulty you're facing, you can ask them about it.
I came to volunteer so that I can utilize my time, since I just completed my Form 4 studies, and also as a way of giving back to the community.
I wanted to join as a volunteer because I have seen what they have done to me, and I wanted it to give back so that another person can come again and say, the reason I'm coming here is because of that specific volunteer.
Some of the volunteers that are serving the library currently were part of the group that used the library beforehand, especially when they were in Form 4. They used the library last year in 2025, and the library was very instrumental in providing books for them, even in preparation for their national examination. And this year, they came back to just give back to the community library, and so they are helping us even in running the programs of the community. The long-term vision of Rafikistry is, of course, continuing being a community safe haven. We foresee ourselves diversifying our resources in a bid to serve the community better.
We would like to definitely accommodate more children. The housing situation in Zimmerman is slowly changing, so getting bigger spaces is definitely challenging. We continue to be hopeful. You never know, perhaps even acquire our own piece of land and build our own thing. That would definitely be something good, because we can be able to then house as many children as possible.
We also have the limitation of other amenities, because actually you cannot run a space or a library without facilities like the toilets, power, without water. So those are also other shortcomings which the community would request that if they were in a position to be placed.
I'd like to thank Kcdf. From the organization perspective, we were able to truly realign our systems. We normally say here at Rafikistry that the organization we were before, Kcdf, and right now we are massive changes has taken place.
Kcdf, asanteni sana. Thank you for all the support. Not just the financial support you've given us, but even the continual encouragement to telling us, you know what, Rafikistry, you can do this. Oh, well done, Rafikistry, for patting us on the back to know that we've done better, that we are not in the space where we were several years ago.
We appreciate the donors for the great work that they do in promoting the Rafikistry NGO. I also would request them, if possible, they continue assisting them, and if they get more funds, to increase the funds that they give them, so that at least Zimmerman community can grow and also can move far.